So first thing we're gonna do is hit the calves. Again, at this point, if you have another device like a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, they can get deeper into the muscles. All right. I'm gonna set myself a little timer. For the calves, bottom of your lower leg, we're gonna go back and forth from just above the Achilles tendon, which is here, to just below the knee. And I want you to try to find where the tightest point on you is. So for some people, it might be over here. For some people, it might be in here. You're looking for tight points or knots, what we call them, in the muscle. Parts of the muscle that are contracting when they shouldn't be. So when you get to that real tender point, I just want you to stop, stay right on that area. We're going to aim for about 30 seconds. You can use the other leg to apply a little extra pressure. Another thing you can do to make it a little bit deeper of a release, press the toes forward and then pull them back. All right, start that up. I'm going to get my timer going so we can see how long we're going for. I'm going to spend about 30 seconds on each muscle knot. And apply as much pressure as you can tolerate. Use the other leg, you can pick the hips up. A few more seconds. And now let's just go into the other side. So we're just going to go on to the other calf. So again, spend the first 5 seconds or so exploring the whole muscle from just above the Achilles tendon to just below the knee. I don't want you to cross onto the knee, and I definitely don't want you going right into the Achilles tendon. And we're just looking for the tightest points in there. Once you find it, stay put. Again, use the other leg to apply extra pressure. We're looking for those knots. Press the foot forward, pull it back. The muscle knot is just a part of the muscle that's contracting when it shouldn't be. So we're going to try to apply pressure for 30 seconds to get that signal to shut down. It's telling it to tighten up on us. Pay attention if you feel any numbness, tingling, shooting pains, or pulsing. Those are all indications to ease up or move to a different area. Right? Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go into the side of your lower leg. So not the calf, which is back here, but the side of the lower leg. We're going to do the same thing, ankle to knee. Most of you, it's going to be up a little bit closer to your knee. I want you to try to find any real tight points. And then once you do, stay put here. You can use the other leg to apply a little extra pressure. And then I want you to try to rotate your foot up, rotate your foot down. These muscles are called your peroneals. They're usually tight if your calves are tight. Again, we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing, normal breathing. Try to take full breaths in, expand your midsection, your rib cage, kind of bring all the air down to the belly, and then full exhale. We want to try to relax our systems. We can get a good stretch, a good release. All right, let's go to the other side now. And I'll turn this way. Same thing. Try to get into that tight point. A lot of people, it's up towards the knee. And you can move the foot up, move the foot down. Make sure you breathe in, no holding the breath. If it feels too intense, if it feels like painful, like you're having to wince, like you're shaking, like your eyes are watering, that's too much. You don't want, that's not what you're looking for here. So ease up if that's what you're getting. Body's just going to view that as danger and tighten everything up. All right, so next thing I'm going to have you do, I'm going to hit the quads. So the quads, front side of your thigh. And the way I'll have you do this, I'm just going to do one side at a time. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm only on one side. Back and forth from the hip to the knee. And then this is a muscle that has a lot of surface area on it. So spend 10 seconds or so exploring the whole area. Try to figure out where your tightest points are. A lot of people, it's over here on the outside edge of the quad. find where the tight point is, and then just stay put on it. Again, make sure you're breathing, no holding the breath. Again, we're looking for tight points in the muscle, and then the fascia, which is the stuff that covers the muscle. It can get tight and knotted up from old injuries, inactivity. A lot of us, just because we're in the same positions all day long, kind of crouched over computers, driving, and we build up that tension in those lesions. We want to do what we can to release them so they don't turn into injuries down the line. All right, let's switch up. Hit the other side. Hit your other quad. Again, back and forth. Spend the first 5 to 10 seconds exploring, finding any tender points, parts of the muscle that are more tender than others. And then once you do, stay put. Forgot to mention on the other side, if you want to make it a little deeper of a release, it gets a little intense, but you can try to bend the knee on the side that you're working on. That's going to stretch the quad out, get you a little deeper of a release, but it's going to make it more intense. So don't overdo it. All right, next thing, we're just going to keep working our way up. I'm going to stay on the legs. Going to hit the adductors, these muscles in here, the groin muscles. Set the roller up parallel to your body. Drop down like you're going to do a plank, and just take the leg that's next to the roller, pick it up, foot over here on the other side of the roller. Just go back and forth from the hip to the knee, trying to figure out where you have any real tight areas in there. Once you get into the tight spot, stay put. Drive the knee down, apply as much pressure as you can tolerate. This is an area, if you feel a lot of pulsing, just ease up on it a little bit. Don't press too much. If you're getting, again, pulsing, numbing, tingling, or shooting pains, those are all indications you're either on a nerve, blood supply, something you don't want to be rolling. A few more seconds. Again, press down. And make sure you're breathing. Again, full breath. Really focus on that. Full breath all the way. Expand the whole midsection. And then exhale. We want to relieve that tension, and we can help that with breathing as well. Let's hit the other side now. Turn so you can see. Again, knee on the roller, and then you're rolling the inner thigh, adductors, groin muscles, inner thigh muscles. Find the tight point, and then just stay put. Make sure you're breathing, no holding the breath. We're going to release all these muscles, get rid of that tension, and then we'll get a much more effective stretch at the end when we stretch the whole body out. Again, make sure you breathe in. Now, next one, we're going to hit glutes, piriformis. I'm going to have you take a seat on your roller. Show you a couple different angles of this one. So you're seated on your roller. Why doesn't everybody pick up your right foot, cross it onto your left knee, and we're going to lean to our right side. So we're working on the right glute and piriformis here. Back and forth, try to find a real tender point. It's going to be in here by the glutes, up here, like the top corner of your body. Again, you're on your right side, so you lean to the right, cross your right ankle onto your left knee, back and forth, find the tight point, and just stay put. Once you get in there, for a lot of us, it's a very tender area. The more time you spend seated, more of a chance this muscle is going to be very tight. If you're really intense, you can try one of these, tennis ball, cross ball, whatever you got. But if this feels very challenging and strenuous, I wouldn't add the tennis ball or lacrosse ball in yet. Make sure you're breathing. And now let's go to the other side. Okay, so left ankle up onto your right knee. Lean to the left side, back and forth. Find the tender point, and then just stay put on it. The way we release these muscles and shut down those tight points is by applying constant pressure to it for 30 seconds or so, rather than going back and forth. All right, so I just want you to stay put, 30 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. If you ever have lower back issues, tightness in the lower back, this is a good muscle to start with to release it and get rid of some of those issues. Tight piriformis can cause low back pain. All right, we're going to go into our hip flexors next. Hip flexors right up here, front kind of corner of your body. So on your roller, like you're going to do a plank almost, and then you can either be in the front side of the hip, just one side, or you can even go into the side, right by your pelvis. You get the little bone, top of your pelvis right here. Make sure you're below that. Don't go above into the rib cage. Back and forth, try to find the tightest point. It might be in the front, it might be on the side. Everybody's body is a little different, so figure out where your tight points are, or where your knots are, and that's where you want to spend your time. And if any of these you feel like you need a little extra time, feel free, stick with it even when we move on, and then you can just catch up with us. Again, during this, we kind of hit the whole body, but everybody's different. Some areas won't be as tender, won't be as knotted up. A few more seconds here. All right, let's go into the other side. Same thing, we're right in here or around to the side. Again, try the front, try the side, determine where the most tender points are, and that's where you want to spend your time. Stay put on that. Give it about 30 seconds. Again, make sure you're breathing. Sometimes at the end of the 30 seconds, it will feel less tender. The area might even feel warm. Those are good indications that you're increasing the blood flow and releasing the muscle, which is what we're aiming for. A few more seconds here. In general, our hips and our upper backs are the tightest points, tightest areas on us. And speaking of the upper back, we're going to have you foam roll next. So we're going to set the roller up. We're going to have you flip over, set the roller up just below your shoulder blades. We're going to hold on to the head. When you're ready, I'm going to have you pick the butt up into the air. Keep your elbows in nice and tight. Keep your elbows close together, and that's going to get your shoulder blades out of the way. We're going to pick the butt up in the air and just roll back and forth over the upper portion of your back, keeping your elbows in tight, all right? I know you might be tempted to kind of go into your lower back. I don't want you to do that, though. Just focus on the upper back. I'll tell you about the lower back in a second, but just the upper back for now. Just going back and forth, elbows in tight. Gonna spend about 30 seconds. Again, keep those elbows in close together. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do, roller set up in the same spot, just below your shoulder blades. Keep the feet on the ground. Keep the butt on the ground this time. We're going to try some extension. We're going to try to arch our back over the roller. So tighten up your core. Draw your belly button in towards the back. Again, same thing, elbows in close together. It's tough to see from this angle, but my elbows are very close together. Core tight, belly button drawn into the back. Hold on to your head, elbows in tight, take a deep breath, and then exhale. Arch your back over the roller, and then come up. We're gonna try 8 of these. So again, elbows in tight, butts on the ground, core tight. Draw your belly button in towards the back. Take a breath, exhale. Drop down. We're gonna try 8 of those. Hold on to your head. Keep your head in a nice neutral position so you're finishing here rather than way down here. Take a breath, exhale. Arch your back. Doing 8 of these. We want to get the upper back to arch as much as we can. And aim for 8 of these. Use your breath. All right, now once we hit 8, the last area, I'm going to have you foam roll before we stretch. We're going to hit our lats. Lats are these muscles that run down the sides of our back, all the way up like under our armpit. So that's where we're going to start. Set the roller up right at your armpit like this, and lean slightly back and just go up a little bit. Try to find any real tender spots by the armpit. Don't go all the way down the rib cage. So you want to be up close to the armpit. I'll show you from the side so you can kind of see where I'm at. But it's here, and then just leaning back a little bit, back and forth. Try to find any real tight points in this area. Make sure you're not just digging right into your shoulder blade. You get your shoulder blade, your rib cage, a few areas you don't want to be pressing into. It's just going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to do anything for you. So try to find any tender spots in the muscle. Spend 30 seconds on there. All right. Now let's switch it over, hit the other side as well. And arm totally straight. Arm straight, thumbs pointing up to the ceiling. Find the tight point, and then just stay put on it. And make sure you're breathing. The more time you spend at a computer, we always round forward, these muscles, the lats get very tight. Good, hold that a few more seconds. All right, now we're gonna try to stretch everything out. We got a few minutes. We're gonna do a total body stretch routine, just try to get everything loosened up. So I'm gonna have you start off with a puppy pose. So all fours position here. We're gonna stretch out our lats and our upper back. Walk your hands forward, keep them wide, and we're gonna try to press the sternum down towards the ground. Press your sternum down. You should feel a good stretch in the lats and the upper back. We're gonna hold this for another 10 seconds. Hips directly above. All right. Now, the next thing I'm gonna have you do, roll up your mats. Just about halfway, we're gonna put one knee on your mat, one leg out in front of you like this. Whatever, let's put the left knee down, right foot's out in front of you. We're gonna squeeze the left glute Keep your torso nice and tall. And we're just going to try to lean forward, keeping a straight line from the left knee all the way through the hip to the shoulder and the back of the head. Core nice and tight, belly button drawn in, squeeze the glute, press the hips forward. A few more seconds here. Should feel good stretch down the whole thigh and the hip. Switch it up. Right knee down, left foot out in front of you. Squeeze the right glute, rotate the pelvis, point the belt buckle up towards the ceiling. Nice straight line from the knee to the back of the head, and lean forward, keeping that straight line from the knee all the way up to the back of the head. Don't go too far. If you go too far, your pelvis is going to rotate back. Again, you want the pelvis tilted, point your belt buckle up towards the ceiling. All right. All right, back down. You can keep the knee, one knee on the rolled up mat. All fours position here. We're going to stretch out the adductors. What I want you to do is step one foot straight out to the side. Lower back totally flat. I don't want the lower back to round. The lower back rounds, we're not going to get nearly as good of a stretch. So lower back's nice and flat. Back's in the tabletop position. This foot, put it out as far as you can, and then rock the hips back. Knee staying totally straight. Rock the hips back. We're just going to hold this position for another 15 seconds. Lower back nice and flat. Remember that. Don't let that lower back round when you push the hips back. Make sure you're breathing, no holding the breath. Now we're going to switch. In all fours position here, lower back totally flat. Step the foot way out to the side. Lower back totally flat. Rock the hips back. Make sure you're breathing. Should feel a good stretch in the inner thigh in here. If not, just keep pushing the foot out farther. Keep that lower back nice and flat. All right. Next stretch, I'm going to show you two different versions or two different ways to hit the glute and the piriformis. One is a pigeon pose. This one's tough, so don't attempt it if you think it's going to bug your knees, your hips. But leg crossed out in front of you, leaning forward. If that one's too much, that requires a lot of mobility at your hips and your knees. Figure four stretch. Cross one foot onto your opposite knee. Pull the toes towards the shin. And then grab your thigh and pull it in towards you. Should feel a good stretch in here. So either pigeon pose or figure four. We're going to pull in. Just hold this. Make sure you breathe in. We're going to hold this one for 20 seconds. And no holding the breath. The stretch is kind of similar to when we're rolling. If it feels too intense, like you're getting any numbness or you're wincing in pain, that's too much. The body's going to view that as danger, and to prevent an injury, it's just going to tighten everything up, which is good to prevent an injury, but it's not going to allow us to loosen the muscles like we want to. All right, let's switch up to the other side. If your muscles are super tight, it might be slightly uncomfortable stretching them, but shouldn't be painful. If you're getting numbness, release the stretch a little bit. Same thing with shooting pain. And make sure you're breathing. And full breaths. So shut your system down a little bit. Get the system to relax. Head can be on the ground. All right, come up. We got one more stretch I'm going to have you do for the calves. If you have a wall in front of you, feel free to do it with your hands on the wall. I'll show you 2 different ways to do it. So we're going to put 1 foot way back here, other foot forward. This back foot, the heel, I want you to press it into the ground. Glue it there. Don't let the heel move. Straighten your knee by squeezing this muscle here. Straighten your hip by squeezing this muscle, the glute. And then keeping a straight line from the heel to the back of the head. Just going to lean forward. Again, if you have a wall in front of you, feel free to use the wall. Right? You should feel a good stretch in the back of the lower leg here. Again, knee straight. Knee straight by squeezing the quad. Hip straight by squeezing the glute. And just hold that. If you can see, you're aiming for a nice straight line from the heel all the way up to the back of the head. All right? None of this. None of that. Straight line. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Again, both feet facing straight ahead. Press the heel to the ground. Glue the heel to the ground. Don't let it move. Straighten the knee. Straighten the hip. Lean forward. Again, you should feel a good stretch in the back of the lower leg. If you have a wall in front of you, feel free to use it. Straight line, heel to the back of the head. Make sure you're breathing. This is the last stretch.